morning, father.
Who is this fellow?
Rajesh,
Rajesh.
father.
Huh?
Rajesh.
Rajesh, where are you, man? You fellow. You have
I'm here,
become
father.
lazy. Formerly you were an active man here, cutting grass.
Yes, father.
Now, now you are staying in a five-star hotel there. Uh, I'm not
Father,
doing any
Robin
work.
is not here.
Robin, you kick him out. Tell him,
Robin,
Robin and that
Robin has
maybe both of them,
he has
push
gone
them
for
out.
recollection, father.
What recollection? They are with what recollection? What recollection? They're supposed to come and attend class. What recollection?
Morning, Father.
Who is this?
Rakesh.
Ah, Rakesh, you are alive. That's a good news.
Morning, Father.
I am fantastic, man. Where is that? Balaswami is coming. Slowly people are coming. Ah. So, let me continue from what I said about causality. Somebody had asked me a few questions regarding causality. So, we spoke about the causes in general and the four types of causes: material cause, formal cause, efficient cause, and final cause.
Final.
So, yeah. So, then we spoke something about material cause and the matter in which something is made. And I also said that Aristotle speaks about two kinds of matter. One is called the
Prime matter,
prime matter, and another is called the secondary matter.
secondary matter.
So we said, explain what exactly is prime matter, what exactly is secondary matter. Then I spoke about the form, the formal cause. The form is a form. Every object should have a form.
Yes.
Without form, nothing can come into existence. Now, this form can be of two types once again, according to Aristotle. One is the substantial form, another is the accidental form. Substantial form refers to the species, the very substance by which we are made, the core of our existence, the essence of our existence. So, that is the substantial form. As human beings, we belong to the form of what we call the Homo sapiens. Others belong to other forms. So each species, each kind has its own form. That is called substantial form. We also belong to the form of humanness. We are human beings. So our substantial form is to be human, to be human being, or what rational animal, what Aristotle calls. We are called as rational animals. So that is the substantial form of human beings. Whereas the accidental form is a form of each one of us. Form of each one of us. Accidentally, we are different from one another. Substantial form, we are all same. We are all human beings. Whichever part of the world we live, we are human beings. But in accidental form, our forms are different. Accidental, so it is called accidental. These forms can change. Substantial form does not change and cannot change. Whereas accidental forms can change. It refers to my height, weight, color, my place, my knowledge, all those nine accidents that Aristotle spoke. We remember that nine accidents and one in his categories. So all those things can change. So we should have a form. So that is the second thing. So formal cause. Then we saw about efficient cause. I asked somebody, well, how do you prove the existence of efficient cause? He could not open his mouth, useless fellow. I explained to you that efficient cause is a cause which an agent who comes or brings something into existence. We say that how do you prove the existence of efficient cause? There are two ways to prove the existence of efficient cause. One is why do finite beings exist? And secondly, why do finite beings change? So, why do finite beings exist? I exist not because of me, because finite beings cannot give existence to its own. Finite being exists because somebody else has brought the finite being into existence. And who is that somebody else? Somebody else cannot be just another finite being. Of course, I can go back to my parents. My parents can go back to their parents. But ultimately, we have to come to a point where the first parents, where did they come from? So that leads us to an efficient cause, which is eternal, which Aristotle calls unmoved mover, or which Saint Thomas calls the ultimate infinite being. Whatever. The second question was, why do finite beings change? We have to explain what is change. That change is nothing but a movement from potency to act. And nothing can move from potency to act unless there is a being in act. Thomistic principle. You cannot forget that. The potency cannot move itself into actuality. Why potency cannot move itself into actuality? Because potency is a principle of limitation. And actuality is the principle of perfection. So you cannot give, according to the philosophical principle, the principle of imperfection cannot give itself a principle of perfection because you cannot give what you don't have. Potency does not have act. So if potency has to be moving from potency to act, it cannot give itself. Why it cannot give itself? Because it does not have. It is because it is a principle of limitation. And therefore, if potency has to become an act, St. Thomas says there should be a being in act. There should be a being which exists already. It enables, it facilitates, it facilitates, it prompts the being from moving from potentiality to actuality. So you see, therefore, nothing can move from potential to act unless there is a being in act. And therefore, it is very clear that there is no, any change implies a movement, from potential to act implies there should be an efficient cause. So we have proved the existence of, without efficient cause, no being can come to existence. And finally, we are talking about the final cause. The final cause refers to the purpose or the goal for which something is made. The purpose or the goal for which something is made. So, what is the purpose? Everything has a purpose. The purpose can be known or it need not be known. There is an intention, there is a purpose behind everything. Whether I know it, I don't know it, that is not the issue. That is not the issue. I may know it, I may not know it. But there is a purpose. Purpose may be in my mind, purpose may be in the mind of someone else. And ultimately, we have seen in Thomistic 5 ways of St. Thomas Aquinas, we have seen that ultimately, infinite being God has a purpose. He has a purpose for which something is made. So, purpose, each being acts according to the purpose is determined by the nature of the being. For example, in beings which are inanimate, meaning to say beings which do not have life, the purpose is made by the nature. For example, the laws of the nature. For example, you have a stone. You throw the stone up, the law of gravity tells that it will come down. Or somebody else can direct the purpose. For example, you want to bring down a mango and you throw a stone. So the stone is going and hitting the mango. The purpose of the stones going and hitting the mango is determined by you. You give a purpose. The stone cannot itself decide to go and pick up a mango. So you can give. So because there is no intelligence in them. There is no life. Whereas the purpose of animate beings, like beings with life, animals, or even other plants, their purpose is decided by their instinct. Instinct decide what sort of things they should be. Each being has its own instinct. The animals have their own instinct. The plants, they have their own type of instinct, maybe on a lower level, lower scale. But they have a life and they act according to the orientation of the life. Whereas animals' instincts are very clear. The purpose is determined by instinct. When it comes to human being, the purpose is determined by our intelligence because we are rational animals. Therefore, we are having intelligence in there. So, purpose is decided by the goal is decided by purpose. So, everything has a purpose. Nothing happens without a purpose. Nothing happens without a purpose. Nothing happens without a goal. Nothing happens without a direction. And it was Aristotle who said that and last in the order of execution. What is the meaning of this? Meaning is very simple. Final cause is first in the order of intention. That means even before a thing comes into existence, even before a thing comes into existence, even before a thing comes into existence, you have a purpose for it. So although execution may come afterwards, but the purpose comes first in your mind. Then you begin to execute.
Rakesh, close your this.
Rakesh, you dangerous man. You close yourself, close your video, or I don't know what. You are taking another class somewhere else there. So, the purpose is decided first in the mind. So, when the carpenter wants to, carpenter is preparing a table, first he must have that I want to prepare a table. That should be there. If he doesn't have that, he cannot prepare a table. So first, the purpose is in his mind. Whatever be the reason, he may prepare a table. He may prepare a table for his personal use. He may prepare a table to sell it. He may prepare a table because somebody has asked him to prepare a table. Whatever be the reason. But before starting the work, he has an idea that he has to prepare a table. So that's why then only he starts collecting wood, collecting his tools, working on the tools, and all that later. Then finally, the end product is the table. So final cause is first in the order of intention, meaning to say, first we think, in the example given, the carpenter thinks that he should prepare a table. That should be there. So goal. And for what? Whatever be the purpose, you prepare the table, it is because it is hobby, or because he is having, somebody has ordered for it, or he is preparing table because he wants it in his house. Whatever be the purpose, but he has a purpose. So first in the order of intent, then only he goes about collecting materials and preparing table. So that's what is the meaning of the word. That is the meaning of the statement. Final cause is first in the order of intention and last in the order of execution. So there is nothing which happens without a final cause. Everything exists because there exists a final cause. And in the idea of St. Thomas Aquinas, the ultimate reason why things exist, because the infinite being has a purpose, infinite being has a goal, infinite being has an intention. Intention, goal, or purpose of the infinite being is that everything should be perfect, everything should be happy, everything should be joyful, everything should be contented. And that is the ultimate goal or purpose of the existence of everything. So, we have seen in brief the four types of causes: material, formal, efficient, and final cause, enumerated by Aristotle. Certainly, of course. Then given a sort of a Christian outlook by none other than our friend, the angelic doctor, St. Thomas Aquinas. Am I clear? Am I clear or not clear?
Yes, Father.
Clear, Father.
All clear, Father.
Very good. Rakesh, you are doing some side businessman there. Don't do that side business. You send that man away. Are you alive or dead, Rakesh?
He went for business, Father.
And he's gone, huh?
Yes, Father.
He's not there, I think. Most probably, in order to eat in the afternoon, he has to work. I see. So, still is there, man. He's doing some.
Yeah.
He has taken off, he has only put on our this one, but he's neither listening to us nor seeing me.
Switching off the video, he only has put the voice, Father.
Yeah, that's why he has put the voice. Hey, Blissen, are you there,
ಮೊಬೈಲ್
man?
ನಂಬರ್ ಅದೇ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ.
Even Blissen is sleeping today.
ಅದು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ.
Hello, Rakesh.
Mobile business, Father.
So somebody call him and say, Rakesh, either you keep quiet or quit the place. Because he's neither listening to us nor he has just put on this one. Even Gleason has run away today.
No, Father, I'm here only, Father.
He's there, Father.
Yeah,
What
praise
you
the
are
Lord.
there, man? Useless fellow. You are sleeping there.
No, Father, I was here only, just I was turning on the mic, no, that's what.
What turning on the mic? How long it takes to turn on the mic? Half
No,
an hour.
Father, how can you say like that, Father? I won't miss your class, no, Father. Anytime, every time I miss the class, Father.
You fellow, you are thinking that you are a good man. You are not. Well, now these are a few things. Anything else? Somebody had asked me this one, some other clarifications. I don't know what clarifications. In the class, you don't listen.
Philosophy of
Then you
William
start
James.
ask a clarification.
Philosophy of William James, Father.
Philosophy of William James. Okay. Did you get that notes, William James?
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father.
Did you read?
Yes, Father.
I didn't understand.
No, Father.
What? No, man. William James should not be a very difficult person. William James speaks
Since
about
there are a lot of
what?
Philosophers.
Which
since
philosophers?
there are a lot of lectures by him. No, William James. Yeah.
William James. So here William James is here, man. William James, his famous book called, what is the famous book of William James? What is the famous book written by William James?
Varieties of religious experience.
Of the religious experience.
Varieties of religious experience. So this is the famous book, and this book is a result of his famous, what we call Gifford lectures. Gifford lectures that he had given to the university, and it's a collection of this one. So in this, there are various things, maybe one or two things. One place he speaks about the mystical experience. You know, one chapter of this book, he speaks about the mystical experience. And what is the mystical experience? Or one of the religious experiences is called as the mystical experience. The in-depth religious experience or the experience of the divine. Experience of the divine is the in-depth God experience. He calls it as the mystical experience. So So then he gives several characteristics of mystical experience. 4 or 5 characteristics of mystical experience. Anybody remembers what are some of the characteristics of mystical experience given by William James?
Awfulness.
Yes, documented.
Awfulness. Okay. An experience of awe, not awfulness. An experience of awe. Awe means something marvelous, something fantastic, something beyond. Awe experience. That was not so much William James, but that was so of this fellow, the other man. What is his name? The experience of awe. Who is that fellow? The experience of awe experience. A famous
Rudolf Otto.
philosopher, Rudolf Otto.
Rudolf Otto.
Rudolf Otto, the awe experience. And what is the famous book of Rudolf Otto?
The idea of the holy.
The idea of the holy.
Holy.
Heilige.
The idea of the holy. That is this one. That is this one. What other aspects of this one of William James? Anybody remembers?
Saintliness.
What?
Saintliness.
Ineffability. That deep God experience cannot be understood through human reason. Deep God experience cannot be understood through the human reason. Human reason is falling short to understand the totality of God experience. Human being is our intellect is so limited. Our intellectual capacities are so limited, and therefore we are not able to understand fully the God experience or in-depth God experiences of what he calls as the mystical experience. So that is another. So ineffability, ineffable, not able to understand. Anything else? William James.
Saintliness, Father.
What?
Saintliness.
Saintliness, I don't think he has spoken so much about saintliness, maybe, but that is not one of
Passivity,
the. What is that?
Passivity.
Passivity, yes. Passivity, passive. So, in-depth God experience is an experience of passivity. What does passivity mean? Passivity means that when God works, human person is passive. Meaning to say that God works on me. You know. So God works on me, and I become a passive listener to God's power. I become a passive listener to God's experience. So I am not I allow God to work on me. I allow God to invade me. I allow God to be filled with me. So my intellect, my will, my memory, they are not very active when God is active. So that is the meaning of the word passivity. All mystical experience are an experiences of passivity, meaning to say that I allow God to work on me, allow God to overshadow me. I myself do not have this one. What is that? I am not totally active. My intellect, my will, my memory are not very active. Any other point? Passivity. Anything else? Transiency. Yeah, another. So what is this? Transiency. Yeah, transiency. Transient. William James made a study about great mystics. William James was a philosopher, also a psychologist. Keep that in mind. He was also a psychologist. So he made a lot of studies on the mystical experiences of great mystics, Christian mystics like St. John of the Cross and Teresa of Avila and many other mystics. So he said some of these mystics have extraordinary experiences. What are those extraordinary experiences? Like some of them have visions, some of them have elocutions, they can be here and at the same time somewhere else. Some of them can hear voices of the divine. They can hear God speaking. Some of them can have other extraordinary powers. But these experiences are not all the time. They are transient. What does it transient mean? They come and go. So you need not have visions all the time. You may have a vision for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. After that, you are not having vision. You may have a feeling of leviation. Leviation means your body is flying, flying experiences. The body starts flying. So that is another experience. You may start hearing voices. But these all are extraordinary experiences and they are transient, meaning to say what? These experiences need not last all through. Secondly, that you have that God experience, you may feel absolutely joyful, happy. You may feel you are in a perfect world. You may feel the closeness of God. Once again, they need not be. After some time, you may feel very normal. You may feel disgusted. You may feel angry. You may feel lonely. So these are all in-depth God experiences are transient, passing. That's the meaning of the word transiency. Anything else?
In-depth relationship.
Yeah, in-depth relationship, I have said already. Experience of God. Have you read anything about other lectures, G-Ford lecture? What are the other titles of the G-Ford lectures? I think in the notes it was given. I have sent you notes now. Anybody has opened? Rajesh, have you opened? The notes which I had sent, and in that I think that other characteristics of this one are mentioned. Some other aspects of this. You have forgotten. Rajesh, are you there? You are not there. Jivan, have you seen man?
No, Father.
Huh?
No, Father.
Did you ever open the notes? Huh?
No, now I'm studying metaphysics, Father, so I did not open.
So, philosophy of religion. Who was studying philosophy of religion?
Father, I have go through the notes, but I have that some points of James, William James. This one. The first he spoke about the two types of people: healthy-minded and melancholic people. Then a concept of mind cure. That one when sick soul, the sixth and seventh chapter. Then twice born. It mentioned about the twice born. Then the divided self and unification. Struggle with the good and evil. Then ninth one he mentioned about the conversation, volitional and self-surrender, conscious, subconscious and unconscious. Then 11th and 3rd chapter he mentioned about the saintliness, characters of saintliness and the values of saintliness.
Anyway, Rajesh, you read a little. Rajesh, are you there? Look like Rajesh is gone out.
I'm here, Father.
You are there. So we will see. I will see maybe 1 or 2 points. I will try to bring in the next lecture. I'm not taking the class immediately. Once the class gets over, don't come back. Okay, I'm not coming back. Okay.
Yes, Father.
But I will maybe
But
tomorrow.
But I haven't added certain things in the notes, Father.
Oh.
Father, in the philosophy of religion, concerning some topics regarding to St. Thomas Aquinas is not added.
Yeah, I told you in the class, this one now. I explained a little, a few topics.
No, Father, yeah, you have dealt it, but notes is there, Father. I forgot to add it, but I'll have to add it later. Except those 3-4 topics, everything is added in the notes.
Yeah, that's okay. Which topics?
Regarding
transcendence. Tomorrow when we take class, you bring correct and you don't. You are talking to somebody else, man. You